Why does Candace Owens care more about who killed Charlie than his wife? But I don't believe acting was her talent. You know, when she was Miss Arizona, acting wasn't her talent. So you can't, you know. Candace Owens is currently the most important journalist in America, and it's not even close. You know, somebody always got to take it too far. I'm going to say some mess like that when Isaiah Factor's still out here. Come on.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. I ask, have you lost your rabbit-ass minds?
Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and this is Street Politics. Now, when we were last here, MAGA's infestation, their Candace Owens problem, had spread from the Israel schism that we have on the right wing over to the feds. Yeah, she had gone and fingered the feds.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
We received a tip that the feds were hiding footage of a woman who was with Charlie Kirk's alleged shooter on 9/10. We can now absolutely verify that tip. Who was this woman and why is this being kept secret? Now, what I told you, MAGA, was drink some water and throw down some Robitussin. That's what I told you. Drink some water and throw down some Robitussin. Everything was going to be fine. But y'all knew better than me. You know what I mean? Y'all wanted to get the Tylenol. You should have listened to your boy. You should have listened to your boy. You know, I told you get that Robitussin. And you know, now look at you.
One more thing rather explosively. 3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie. One who is a Turning Point USA donor, and I would say very much one of the white knights in this. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay. He did not express that to me. So I am telling you this based off the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that. Now, again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know what the heck happened on 9/10, that, you know, they will be brave and they will say, yeah, Charlie did the day before he died think that he was going to be killed, and maybe tell us, who is they? Well, for once and for all, who is they? Who is the they that he thought were going to kill him?
Candace Owens just revealed that 24 hours before Charlie Kirk was murdered, that he messaged people that he, quote, thought he was going to be killed. Says 3 sources confirmed to her that Charlie said in messages they were going to kill him. It's getting insane. Woo. This is good. Yeah. This is the view from here is something. You know, it really is. Huh? SeatGeek. Yeah, they do good work. They do good work. They got me good seating. It was one of those deals. It was a green deal. So that's how we got these good seats for this. That is, woo boy. Now I'm wondering, are we going to get any more information? Because they certainly are panicking at the news that she just dropped. In fact, she actually seemed to be mocking the fact that they were panicking the way that they were. That'd be kind of like the roaches mocking you from the walls.
Hey, you're on our turf, man.
Yeah, I'm talking to y'all.
Hey, man, I cut you up so bad. You're gonna wish I don't cut you up so bad.
I'm collecting these meltdowns for tomorrow's show, so please do not forget to tag me in your favorite ones. Wow. I don't know. Y'all think she gonna reveal the text messages? You think she gonna do it? What'd you say? Never question a black woman's receipts. I'm not willing to go there with it. No, I think that's too far.
And others knew, that Charlie was done with Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof of what I am saying. This is an actual group chat, which happened 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. There were 9 people in total on this chat, including Charlie and Rob McCoy. I'm going to protect the names of the other 7 for now. To be clear, I might actually release a name every day this week, but I want to show you this because suffice it to say, Rob McCoy was on this text thread, and I think it helps contextualize him as a person, in my view, that he would attack me for telling the truth about the pressure that he was facing. Take a look. So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, ugh.
Candace, was that because of losing the donor, or was that because of inviting Candace? Because if it was inviting Candace and you reacted like that and I had the text messages, it'd be a name over that bubble. I tell you that right now.
Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. Then somebody writes, a donor writes, please do not invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term.
Hey, Candace, you just want to see him twist? Okay, all right, okay. You playing the long game. I got you play, because they know what they wrote. Yeah, yeah. No, I've been there before, where they pretend they don't know. Yeah, I've got caught in that trap before. Matter of fact, just play the video. I'm going to a dark place.
In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times after the dust settles a bit, maybe. So again, this is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was very clear and he was very explicit, and he did not back down, not in that Hamptons meeting, which they're all lying about, nor in this text thread. I'm not going to reveal the names of the other 7. Actually, you know what? I disagree with myself 4 seconds ago. Let's just throw in Josh Hammer for funsies. He's on this chat, okay?
Yep. There you go. There you go. I called it. Oh, Josh thought he was slick.
So what are we to make of that? Okay, now that I'm showing you this and showing to you that the conversations were real, I want you to reflect, and it took me a lot of patience to allow the lies that were being woven and the misrepresentations of people that were pretending that I was just, high on lying about Charlie and the pressure he was under, the attacks that not just me, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly faced for trying to stand up and tell the truth about what Charlie was actually going through. Why are you hearing it, though, from me and Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly? Isn't that weird? You got people that are hosting a show. Have they, in like one honorable thing, come out and said, like, you know what? F a couple of these donors who made his life a living hell in the last couple of weeks. Why haven't they done that? There's also a rabbi in that chat. Like, why hasn't anybody made that move to at least say, to vindicate what I have been saying about what he was going through? That registers to me as very suspicious. I'm going to frankly say that. It's suspicious to me. It makes me think that in the same way that Charlie was being pressured by money, that you might be now run by that same money, that those same donors might be running you to correct the ship and to focus yourselves on eulogizing Charlie as something and someone that never once flinched, never once for a single second doubted the Israeli cause.
Now, what she is laying down right now, I can co-sign the fact that they will not confirm just these baseline conversations and meetings, which apparently have been corroborated that they did in fact occur, adds to the suspicion and leads you to wonder what more may be behind that curtain if they are unwilling to at least acknowledge this stuff over here. That's the kind of common sense that leads me to do a show called Street Politics. At the same token, you have to wonder why that same logic isn't taken towards an administration or a Republican caucus that refuses to call out the nefarious actions, tweets, comments, and speeches that have come from this administration. And if we want to keep it confined to Charlie Kirk, we can do that as well. You know, if it's suspicious here, it's suspicious here. Huh?
Now they want us to suddenly believe the best way to honor Charlie is to shut up. The exact opposite of what he quite literally laid down his life doing. Answering questions, turning point. And we all are feeling spiritually the same way. So I'm just going to say it. They're not grieving right. It's not up to us to decide how people grieve, but I will say unequivocally that you shouldn't grieve by lying or by gaslighting. Is that fair? Can we all agree? You should not grieve by lying and gaslighting the public.
Well, I normally would agree, but if lying and gaslighting the public is how you go about your regular everyday, you know what I mean? Maybe that's your comfort food, you know what I mean? Lying and gaslighting the public. You know, maybe that's what you do to feel alive. And quite honestly, if MAGA told me that, I couldn't disprove it. As far as you are concerned, Turning Point, fight back, Turning Point USA, fight back!
Charlie was loyal to people that he had shared history with, right? He was asked, I think this may be what you were about to say, Blake, he was asked about Candace before in public, and he would always say, listen, we're friends. He would never say an ill word about her. And if people, tried to force him to do that about Tucker or whatever, he would always be defiant because he didn't want to be morally blackmailed.
Exactly. Charlie was loyal to people who had ever been friends to him, whether it was very old donors or just people who had worked with Turning Point.
Yep.
And as long as they were not attacking him, he would not air any dirty laundry or, frankly, any disagreements he had with people. He did disagree with Candace on the Israel issue. He disagreed with Tucker on the Israel issue. But he also recognized Tucker had positions they agreed on. Tucker was a useful voice in the conservative movement on many things.
I'm sorry. Is that a Clarence Thomas photo that you have above you? Justice Clarence Thomas? No, it looks right. It's in exactly the right place. I'll be totally honest with you about that.
What do you mean by that?
But I don't think that's representative of the justice. No, you should use one of those Instagram photos where he just got flued out by one of the right-wing donors. Yeah, on a private jet with those big red boots and his Merce.
And so he invited him to events, and they were popular events. And so he would react. Sometimes people would just say, yeah, don't invite him or we're going to, cut off some large donation. And that would make him angry. He would say this, as you say, this is moral blackmail. And he's this Scottish guy. He's combative. His reaction to that is, the classic screw me, no, screw you, that sort of thing.
He had, it's one of my favorite parts about Charlie is just how defiant and independent he was. Yeah, he was never going to
be. He could not be controlled by other people.
You could not buy him. He was not bought and paid for. You could not control him with money. It just wasn't the way he was wired. He didn't actually care about money that much.
And so what's going on here? What is going on here? You guys can look up what the text say. What is going on is Charlie, as I mentioned, he loved Israel. He cared about Israel. He cared about the Holy Land. And he was aware there was a surge of anti-Israel sentiment on the right. Charlie thought seriously about this issue and was trying to chart a path forward for people who were sympathetic to Israel. He was playing the good cop here. He was saying, you guys don't realize how bad it could potentially get. Mm-hmm. You have to change your PR. That's why he writes a letter to Bibi. You are losing the PR war. You need to change how you do your PR. You need to change your messaging to the American right. You might need to change what you expect from us, that you're not going to be able to count on just, for example, unlimited military aid from America. That's just not going to be tenable going forward. So maybe it has to be a more passive relationship.
Turning Point USA. That's what we doing? That's what we doing. Let me translate that. What Candace, so she was, that those text messages were true. Those text messages were true, but you can't get the tone in a text message. You can't get it was a lot of sarcasm and it was a lot of things that was said just to keep the conversation going. He wasn't really paying it. He wasn't really on his phone like that. He was out here doing stuff for Israel. He was out here doing stuff for Israel, and the phone was buzzing, and he just might, just say something real quick to keep the conversation going. That's all that was. That's all that was. He kept the conversation. He wasn't even reading the messages really for real. Well, just to jump back to something that Candace said, your unwillingness to verify these things at the outset really lead us to a place of this not being so cut and dry. That was suspicion that you raised by virtue of your denials. And it did not go unnoticed. Zionists, Candace Owens never brings the receipts about Charlie Kirk and is embarrassing herself. Candace Owens. Candace Owens just revealed that Turning Point USA has made tens of millions of dollars since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Grief became a business model. Now, she said lying and gaslighting is not the way to grieve, but tens of millions of dollars, that would be the way to grieve. That would, we have found the way to grieve. Why does Candace Owens care more about who killed Charlie than his wife? That train is never late. That's been there for weeks. Good luck fighting them allegations. But I don't believe acting was her talent. When she was Miss Arizona, acting wasn't her talent. So you can't, this is as good as we're going to get. Candace Owens is currently the most important journalist in America, and it's not even close. See, why somebody always got to take it too far. Somebody always got to take it too far. I'm going to say some mess like that when Isaiah Factor's still out here. Come on.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. I ask, have you lost your rabbit-ass minds?
I wonder how Candace is going to take the many people who sought to disprove and discredit her this entire time. I'm sure she'll take that well. Yeah, I'm sure she'll be good with it.
At some point, her credibility, is going to go down the tubes because she needs to bring receipts. Bill Ackman brought receipts. How long was that tweet?
It's still going. I think
he was there in the room.
Reading it.
Andrew Colbert was there in the room. You're on the board of Turning Point?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Candace Owens?
In person?
Yeah.
2015.
Why you stumble on that? See, y'all be bringing suspicion on yourselves. Why you stumble on that? I seen that before. When's the last time you seen her? Sinuses. Oh, hold up. I'll be back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. No,
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
Not in many years.
Okay.
But
so let's without even being biased.
Is
Candace even involved in Charlie Kirk's life at all?
No question, proof that Candace Owens has nothing to do. She would be in a perfect world if they didn't have this. What I already know was a very quiet breakup where she got too rabbit hole for him. She would be the logical heir to the TPUSA throne, but she's not.
And now she's not even invited.
Correct. So this is so their divide is.
Wait a minute, not invited meaning
she's not even there.
Yeah, she's not there. One of the names.
Wait, you don't think she'll be at the funeral?
No.
That's not the funeral.
The heir to the TPUSA throne.
She doesn't speak at the events anymore.
So that's just it's so good for this to happen because you guys are watching everything that I'm saying and you can watch them lie. Eric Bowling, I just don't even get this one. How can you say that I have not spoken at a Turning Point USA conference in years when I literally went on tour with Turning Point USA on college campuses last year? That's just incredible. You didn't know that I went, I was on tour for Turning Point USA last year? You don't remember that happening?
He don't remember. He don't remember. At least that's what he said. He said it may have happened. It may have happened, but I did not knowingly see that. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, she's on quite a revenge tour. And you know what, MAGA? I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Cause y'all put the battery in her back. Y'all put the battery in her back. And when she was pointing in our direction, y'all didn't give a damn to verify anything. So no, I got my seat. And I have paid through the year. So I'm going to be right here. I'm just waiting for the, concessions and all of them to come through. You know what I mean? We good. Where we going next? Oh, the investigation? This is getting insane. Candace Owens has verified that Patsy shooter George Zinn received medical treatment after saying he shot Charlie Kirk. George Zinn told medical staff he was getting paid to claim he was the shooter, but wasn't sure from who or when.
On the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination, immediately George Zinn gets up and says, I did it. And he kind of gets dragged. Well, apparently George Zinn had to receive medical treatment following that little fracas. And he told multiple nurses and doctors that he did it because he was being paid to do it. He said he had not been paid yet, but he was going to receive payment. He didn't know from who. That's interesting. Decoy Boy told medical staff, apparently he was just singing, just telling everybody who would listen that he did it because payment was going to be promised to him if he did do it. What does that tell us? We should definitely dig into George Zinn. We should definitely try to confirm this relatively strong tip that he has connections to the feds, because it would be very interesting if the feds were going to pay George Zinn. I'm not saying they are, but yeah, why wouldn't he know? I mean, make that make sense. Why wouldn't George Zinn know where the payment was coming from?
Man, she got y'all looking bad out here. She do. She really do. Where's the specialist? Where's Nick Fuentes been this entire time? Nick Fuentes reading Twitter receipts that Candace Owens had the receipts, and his rants now look really dumb. Fight back, Nick Fuentes! Fight back! Nick, Charlie Kirk said he had no choice to leave the pro-Israel cause because a Jewish donor stopped giving him millions of dollars. What a coincidence. He had his great epiphany about Israel after they stopped paying him to shill. I'm telling. No, because Nick Fuentes is saying that Charlie Kirk was just a shill. And whoever was paying him, he would say whatever. He ain't have no conviction. I think he questioned his whole dedication to Christianity. Yep. I'm telling. That's what he said. Fuentes. Fuentes. Yeah, I think he's Latino. Yeah, that's what he said about Charlie Kirk. Uh-huh. Not because I know how y'all are when people question.
I want to snitch. I want to tell. Whatever they call telling, snitching, I want to do it. And I want to make it cool to do it.
From Candace Owens, expanding the network, Tate Brothers, Dave Smith, Max Blumenthal, Tucker Carlson, Mel, and more will have legal files and personal text messages related to my time at Turning Point, PragerU, and Daily Wire, plus private conversations with people like Seth Dillon and Dave Rubin. These people have my explicit permission to release everything publicly if anything happens to me. Charlie's death and the audacity of the people like Josh Hammer eulogizing him means we must all share information and let the truth rise up like a lion. Josh Hammer. That name rings a bell. He came up earlier, didn't he? Didn't Josh Hammer come up earlier? I knew nothing about Josh Hammer's random tweet about public executions the night before Charlie was publicly executed. In what context does that tweet make sense? Literally, WTF. I'm sorry, come again? Josh Hammer treachery. Josh Hammer randomly dug up a 12-year-old Trump tweet about public executions the night before Charlie was assassinated. There you see it right there. The same night before the assassination, Josh Hammer told us he had a meeting with Charlie wherein he claimed Charlie hadn't changed his mind on Israel. He neglected to say anything about Charlie's group chat statement from the previous day. Fact, Josh Hammer was in the group chat where Charlie admitted he was going to have to abandon the pro-Israel cause, yet Hammer remained completely silent about this and called Candace Owens a liar for claiming Charlie's stance on Israel was shifting. Fact, Josh Hammer knew about the letter to Netanyahu, but remained quiet and let others break the story. Why is Josh Hammer calling people liars for making true claims while remaining silent on key pieces of insider information himself that refute his own claims? Watch Josh Hammer tell you about being in the group chat and tell you Charlie wasn't shifting his stance. This is now confirmed to be untrue, and it turns out Candace Owens was telling the truth. Why did Hammer lie about Candace and not produce this information himself?
Communicated on a virtually daily basis through this active group chat and one-on-one. The fact that we were doing that, along the fact that he had that particular Zoom call with people like me the night before he was killed, I think really profoundly calls into question this narrative that he was getting ready to renounce his well-established lifelong support for the Jewish people, for the state of Israel.
Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. Josh, I'm going to be honest. Candace Owens on your neck. It's just, it doesn't get better. I'm just telling you, it doesn't. I wish I could say, but it does not get better. So, we'll be here. If you need anything, if you run out to, the concourse, you get some refreshments. We'll hit you back.
I went ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So if anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell over the past couple of years. People that are trying to bankrupt me.
Candace, yeah. I believe that was France that tried to bankrupt you. No, you cooking. I just wanted to go ahead. You got it.
Trying to bankrupt me and my family, that are threatening us to sue us. Everything that Kanye said was so real. Okay. I'm now at that point where you look back and you go, man, Kanye was right. He was really saying something.
I'm sorry. Did you just say everything Kanye said was so real? Like Kanye? I don't know how this gonna end. She was cooking, and then, but this is what happens when you riding the Candace train. You could be going a good place, and then you hit everything Kanye said was so real. The same guy that said poopity scoop and made money off it. Yeah. That was real. Thank you guys so much for supporting the content and for keeping the energy from September pushing all the way into October.
Wake me up when September ends. Pale September.
Wait a minute. No, I said October. We supposed to be doing October. What you mean ain't no October songs? No. October is the best month of the year. You got Halloween, which is the best of the holidays because you don't have no disappointments. Ain't like Thanksgiving where you got your family asking why you ain't found nobody, or Christmas where you got to do math to make sure you don't end up in the negatives with the gift giving. Everybody loves candy. I know everybody loves candy, and your aunties get a re-up because it's about time they got some new candy, because they be giving you that same peppermint candy since you was 7 from the bottom of that purse. They need some new candy, and Halloween is the perfect time to do so. You got the beautiful fall foliage and the changing color of the leaves. The weather opens up your whole entire closet. You can wear whatever you want. Not to mention it is Libra season, and Libras make the world go round. If it weren't for Libras, we be all out of whack. Huh? When's my birthday? It's October. Why? I can be unbiased. I be unbiased here every day. Just because it's my birthday, I mean, that maybe have a little something to do with it, but not a whole lot. And by the way, so while we're talking about the greatest, I do want to give a shout out to Regina, who's been working extremely hard on the newsletter. Make sure you send me your feedback on things that you would like to see in the newsletter. You can sign up for that at patreon.com/Reese Waters. And I must tell you how touched I was. I had some issues with the platform and had to do a late night impromptu premiere the other day, and almost 1,500 people showed up. No warning, on a Saturday at like 11 o'clock at night. Not to mention the fact that lovely Nola was able to show up and be a mod at that particular premiere. And I'm going to tell you, it was rough. It was rough. Yeah, she was out there, and she was out there like Atlas. Yeah, it was bad. It was like Sunny at the Causeway. She got lit up like Canelo. But you know what? She made it. And it's that kind of jumping in and lending a hand, and all you guys that came in that were so supportive at that particular premiere. I just want to say that really touched my heart, and I want to say thank you. Now, while we're on the topic of touching my heart, I got to send some love to Tiger in Kentucky. She reached out to me some time ago and said that she builds models, and she wanted to build one for me. And I said, you know what? I would be honored. I have room in the back. I would love to see one. And I thought a live unboxing would be the way to go. Now, it might have been helpful if I would at least loosen the box. Tiger, thank you so much. This is awesome. You sent me a note as well. I'm looking very forward to putting this together and finding a spot for it in the back. And you never know. I got little ones. I might start a whole collection of little figurines. Huh? No, they can't touch mine. No, I'm gonna be just like my aunties and uncles were for me. No, you come in, you sit down, you don't touch nothing. Matter of fact, in a year, I'm putting plastic on that couch.